Hey guys, this is my second video for the chapter Organic Chemistry. In this video, I shall be covering two topics. Nomenclature, that is IUPAC, which we had a gist of in the first video, and rules of nomenclature. Mind you, these topics are very much important. Take a note of it. Now we shall be discussing about nomenclature. This chart is very important, very important for you to start naming. In the previous video, I had discussed about IUPAC naming system. This is the base of it. You need to hold this very strongly. Mark this very important. Take a note of it. We start with the root word. Meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex. These all are root words. Over here, you can see if there is one carbon atom, we write meth. If there are two carbon atoms, like in ethane, we write eth. If there are three carbon atoms, we write prop. For 4, we write but. For 5, pent. And for 6, hex. For 7, it is hept, only till here. For 8, oct. For 9, non. And for 10, dec. What about the rest, that is A and E? What about it is what if it is an alkene? We would have added prop ene, propene. Why do we only write this much? Why not the suffix? I hope you know what is the meaning of a prefix and suffix. Even if you do not, you need not worry. Prefix is what is added before a word and suffix is what is added after a word. Ein, and ein are added after meth, eth, prop, etc. Hence, they are known as suffixes. These are primary suffixes, means what we add as ein, or ein, that is ene or yne before the word. It is primary suffix. Alkanes. If there is a single bond between carbon-carbon atoms, we call them alkanes with an A. Hence, we give the primary suffix ane. So, if there is one carbon atom, we call it methane. For there to be two carbon atoms, it cannot be methane, because methane is this hydrogen over here. There is no other carbon atom to make a double bond. Remember, a double bond or a triple bond is considered only between carbon atoms, not carbon and hydrogen. No, it is only between carbon atoms. Or a triple bond as well. Remember this is very important. Now, let's talk about the suffix for eth. If there is, look, it does not matter on the number of carbon atoms to write the primary suffix. You might think C2 है, तो because it is 2 हम alkene consider करेंगे, तो इसके लिए हम ethene लिखेंगे. No, that is completely wrong. कार्बन एटम्स ये डिसाइड नहीं करता है कि उसका प्राइमरी सफिक्स क्या आएगा. कार्बन एटम्स ये डिसाइड करता है कि उसका रूट वर्ड क्या है. टॉकिंग अबाउट एल्कीन्स, एल्कीन्स में कार्बन कार्बन डबल बॉन्ड इज प्रेजेंट व्हेन देयर इज अ 2 dash. You know, in maths we call it equal to. When there is an equal to sign between two carbon atoms, it belongs to alkenes group. Mind you, इसका मतलब equal to नहीं होता है. This is only a bond. We add ene which is same Ne, Ne and Ne, but only the first letter changes. So if it was this, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is how it was present, then we would have counted the carbon atoms, that is C2, 1, 2, 3, 4, H4, which means it was ethene. Ethene. Now talking about alkynes, if there is a triple bond between carbon-carbon atoms, mind you, carbon-carbon atoms, not carbon-hydrogen atoms. If there was a triple bond between carbon-carbon atoms, then it was an alkyne. This is for hydrogen. Now, if it was like this, we would have called it, we would have first counted the number of carbon atoms, that is 2C2H2, which is ethyne. It belongs to alkyne group. Moving forward to the secondary suffix. If you ever see an OH in a branched chain or a compressed chain, this is how it would look mostly. There are many options to it. It could be over here as well, or it could be over here, also over here, or over here, no matter anywhere. But if you see an OH in the chain, you know it is an alcohol. Because there are two carbon atoms, we write eth as the root word. Then we go to the primary suffix. Is there a single bond, a double bond, or a triple bond? A single bond. We write ANE and we see for OH. Okay, it is present over here. We write all. Let me tell you, for OH, that is alcohol in a chain, you add the suffix ol, OL. If it was aldehyde, that is CHO, we would have written AL. And if it was carboxylic acid, we would have written oic acid, OIC acid. It is represented by COOH. So if there was a double bond over here and OH over here, COH. Whenever there is a single O, you add a double bond. Practice sum number 1, 2 and 3. 1. First we find the longest chain. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms means prop. Because there's a single bond in the chain, we write ane because it is alkane. 1, 2, 3. ये जो second carbon है, over here there's another carbon with 2 H and one more carbon. This carbon is in bond with this carbon and this carbon is in bond with this one. This H is for this carbon atom. To pay, there is a C. So we call it methyl. But there are two C's in a direct bond, in a single bond. These are 3 questions for our revision, for practice. In this one, we first see the longest chain. The longest chain over here is 1, 2 and 3 carbon atoms. We cannot include another carbon atom in the chain because there is no more. This is joined to the second carbon atom, which is at second position. So from A to B, A will say to B, 2 पे एक मिथाइल है, तो 2 मिथाइल. Then there is no more carbon atoms anywhere. He'll come straight forward, he'll come to B and say, मेरे को 3 carbon atoms मिले. C3 means prop. 3 कार्बन एटम्स मिले, सब सिंगल बॉन्ड में थे, तो एन. सो 2 मिथाइल प्रोपेन is the answer to this. So easy, isn't it? Moving forward to the second one. This looks like a house, doesn't it? But we should not get worried. It's very much similar to this one. We'll add one more carbon atom over here. One, 2, 3, 4. This looks like a longest chain. You could also take this longest chain like this. You could take this as the longest chain and exclude this out. Why to do so complicated work? Let's simplify it and take this chain. In this chain, there are 4 carbon atoms. C4 means ब्यूट. ये ए बी को लास्ट में बताएगा कि यहाँ पे 4 कार्बन एटम्स है. 1, 2, 3, 4. उससे पहले वो बताएगा कि सी पे, सेकेंड सी पे एक मिथाइल है. सो वील राइट 2 मिथाइल. लास्ट में उसको कुछ और नहीं मिला आजू बाजू में, लास्ट में बता देगा सिंगल बॉन्ड C4 means एन butane. The name for this is 2-methyl butane. Propionic acid, because there is oic acid over here. You remember oic acid was used for COOH, carboxylic acid. We add COOH on the first one only because there is no number mentioned कि वो है कहाँ पे, 2 पे है, 3 पे है, नहीं पता है, तो फर्स्ट पे डालेंगे. Now that we have considered this as the first one, we'll add oic acid on this one. We'll add oic acid on this carbon. C double bond OOH. I'd explained you why do we put a double bond between C and O when the O is single. We have to put it when O is single because it needs some support. But when it is with hydrogen, it does not need any extra support. This was propionic acid. Now look over here. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The second carbon already has 3 plus 1, 4 bonds. So it does not need any extra hydrogen bonds. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. एक मिनट नहीं, this one नहीं, कट मत करो. This one के आगे से सब इरेज होगा. Propanol. Prop again means 3, 1, 2, 3. A तो मतलब सब में सिंगल बॉन्ड है. All is used for alcohol. Because there is again no number mentioned, we would just add it on the first one. If it was propane dash 2 dash all, then we would have put it over here. If it was 3 all, then we would have put it either over here or over here. If we consider this as 1, 2 and 3, then it would have been over here. And if this was the first one, this second and this third, then it would have been over here. Considering this as the first one, first, second and third. अगर 3 पे all है तो 3 पे you add OH. Anywhere, down, side, up, कहीं पे भी. It does not matter. Now this is hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Even if it was not 3, it was 1, then we would consider this as the first one, this second and this third. It is still satisfied. Now we shall discuss about the rules of nomenclature, IUPAC. These are a few rules. The first is choose the longest chain. As I have said earlier, the longest chain comprises maximum number of carbon atoms. Then rule number 2, numbering is done such that prefix gets smaller number. It's quite simple to understand this. I don't need to explain it. Rule number 3, if 2 or more prefixes are present, arrange them alphabetically. It means if 2, 3, 4, 5 or how many ever prefixes are present, you need to arrange them in alphabetic order. Like if bromo and chloro both are present, you write bromo first and chloro later. Even if bromo is on the 4th position and chloro is on the 2nd position, you write bromo first. Between secondary suffix and prefix, preference is given to secondary suffix. It's a very simple language. And last rule, between primary suffix and prefix, preference is given to primary suffix. It is same as the previous rule, just that instead of secondary suffix, primary suffix is there. That's it for this video. Check out the link in the description box for the important notes. Thank you. Like, share and subscribe.